Hello, everyone. Dakota, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing great. As you can see, summertime is here, finally. Well, I just thought I would come on to show you a couple of clips that will help you understand how hate is very costly and it's not worth it. And when I say hate, I mean people hating other people because of the way you look, or because of the way you act, or because of your class in society, or because you're a Republican or a Democrat, or because you're a Latino or a Black. Hate is costly, and people are finding that out. Let's hope they learn from all of these shenanigans that's going on in the world today. Okay, we're going to talk just a little bit about the farmers and then about how people are being deported away from their families, away from their kids because of the way they thought. All of this did not have to happen. It did not have to happen, especially with the farmers. It is of your own doing. So really, nobody wants to hear it, but you're all on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, so we have to hear it. So let's hear what this one lady has to say about the about some of the farmer situations and how we feel about it.
On farm talk like I am, but did y'all see the video of that young farmer Skylar who voted for Trump and now is in danger of losing his family farm because Trump is going to enact the policies that he promised to enact? And Skylar and his family farm are getting screwed in the process. If you haven't seen it, he's made a few videos because he got pretty defensive when folks in the comments on his first video were like, fuck around and find out. Oh, isn't this what you voted for? Did you not research the candidate and his policies before you decided to vote for him? I believe for the third time. This is the third time he's voted for Trump.
Serve any help? I hope you lose your farm. How much you selling it for? All those comments, that's super helpful. You think that you're not helping and you think that it's funny, but you commenting boosts the post and I'm getting more views, therefore it is helping me.
Is it saving your farm?
It's kind of a double-edged sword there. You think you're getting your point across, in reality you're actually helping me. But
really?
I wanted to start off by saying I did vote for Donald Trump.
Three times.
Just because I voted for Donald Trump doesn't mean I believe in everything that he stands for.
Hey guys, this is U.S. Senator.
But that doesn't make sense. Just because I voted for someone doesn't mean I agree with everything that they stand for. But the things that you need to understand are the major things, like I could lose my family farm, and it's been in my family for generations. This is how people feel about what you got. This is how people feel. This is how I feel. And I'm sure a lot of people feel like I do. Let's continue to hear what this lady has to say if we can get rid of these commercials.
John Ossoff in Georgia. And before you skip this ad, just hear me out, because I'm...
And everybody has to understand that. Just because you vote one way doesn't mean you agree with everything that that party stands for.
Now, I'm a big proponent of supporting small family farms, supporting local sustainable agriculture. But son, I am struggling to have sympathy for you, a cishet white dude who owns a farm in Missouri, for voting for Donald Trump. You are the demographic that deserves to feel the pinch, deserves to feel the consequences of your actions. The folks who are going to suffer the most, as I have said, the folks who are at risk of losing their lives, their livelihoods, their homes, their well-being, their futures, those folks, by and large, are the folks who did not vote for this regime. But you did. You chose this. And son, I know in this defensive follow-up video, you're like, oh, joke's on you guys because I'm getting mad views on my original video. Cool.
That is so pathetic. I'm losing my farm, yet I'm getting mad views on my videos in my YouTube channel. Like I always say, what they say about people that live in West Virginia, when there's a divorce, somebody is going to lose a trailer.
Is that somehow stopping the Trump administration from enacting Project 2025? Is that going to save your farm? Are you going to get water to your cattle now? Like, great for you if you're going to make a couple $100 off that video. It doesn't change the regime that you actively supported, that has come to power and is doing all of the things that they promised they would do. Now, you said in the comments of your video that you were too busy to really dig into all of Trump's plans. You didn't have the time to research. But I'm sorry.
You've been too busy, but you have a TV, you have Google. I'm pretty sure you watch the news, before the elections. If you don't, then maybe you can't read or write and you need to go back to school because it totally doesn't make any sense. It's senseless. And the sad part about it is the next election, you'd probably vote the same way.
You are a grown-ass man. You are a whole adult, and it is incumbent upon you to do due diligence and do research before you decide to vote for a candidate. You don't get to play, oh, poor little me, I was ignorant, I didn't know what I was voting for. You don't get to play that game. You are a grown-up. You own a farm, and you couldn't bother to read the section on agriculture in Project 2025? I cover sustainable agriculture for my business, but I don't have a farm, and I had the time to read up on it. I made it a priority. It's wild to me that you as a farmer did not, and now you want to say, this isn't my fault, guys, I just didn't know. No, what you...
But it is your fault. It was your responsibility to know. It was. And if you did not understand, you know what I do? I pull down, when I hear something, I say, oh, that's interesting. I actually go online and pull down the executive orders. Now, I don't have a farm. I don't have a business. So, I'm not on welfare. There are some things that affect me. And honestly, I did pull down the executive order. The one main one that I pulled down is where it said segregation. It's no longer illegal to have black and white or whatever, brown and yellow, whatever, water fountains or bathrooms, whatever. A lot of you guys don't know about that. I forgot the number of the executive order, but you need to check it out. So you can't say, oh, I didn't know. It's not my fault. It is your fault that you lost your grandpappy's farm.
You thought is the parts of Trump's platform of Project 2025 that you liked, like deporting brown people, like removing women's access to reproductive health care, like taking away free and reduced lunch for poor kids, restricting Medicaid, food stamps, WIC, which is weird because as a farmer, you should know how many of those programs are linked to agricultural subsidies. I mean, WIC is basically one of the biggest ag subsidies in the country. You honed in on all the things on Trump's platform that were going to get you what you wanted, but you didn't even bother. You were too busy to do the due diligence of reading through the parts of his policies. Project 2025 has been published on the internet for a long time now. You could have gone and said, as a small business owner, as a family farmer, my legacy, my business is super important to me and my family. I should probably read what's in this document about ag.
Do you know the U.S. solar company's nasty?
100%, lady. 100%. I'm with you. I do not feel bad for these farmers that are losing their farms because that's what they wanted. And this is how we feel about it. Sorry. That's how we feel about it. Okay, now we have a young lady. She is an illegal immigrant, and she was deported. She had a daughter. Her daughter had papers, but she did not have papers. And let's hear what happened to this Trump supporter.
Administration is now talking about what happened this morning. She was deported to her native Cuba last month.
And even though both her daughter and husband are U.S. citizens, she's also never been charged or convicted of a crime.
Yeah, she tells CNN's Patrick Ottman about life without her 17-month-old child who was left behind.
Heidi Sanchez spends her days watching videos of daughter Kayleen. It's as close as she can be to her child now, just days after Heidi was deported from the United States to Cuba. Kayleen, who was born in Florida, stayed there with her father, who, like Kayleen, is also a U.S. citizen. But she does not comprehend where her mother is. She's very intelligent, Heidi says of her 1-year-old daughter. When she talks to me, she says, "Mama, come." And they say, "Your mama is working." She says, "Mama, come." Heidi.
Okay, she's crying. She's crying. Isn't that so sad? What is my title? Hate is costly, and it's not always about money. It's about family. It's about relationships. It's about the wealth that you've built. It's about your neighbors. It's about your job. Hate is not worth it. When you're a hateful person, you get ugly real fast. You get old real fast, and it can cost you everything. Was it worth it? Maybe it was. Maybe it is worth not seeing your 17-month-old or your husband. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe you just do the same thing all over again. Who knows?
Lived for 6 years in the U.S., and although she tried to become a legal resident, she was placed into deportation proceedings after missing an immigration hearing in 2019. In late April, at what she thought was a routine appointment with immigration officials.
She missed an immigration appointment in 2018. Why did you miss an appointment that important? Unless you're laying up in a hospital, strapped with tubes, can't get out of the bed, there's no reason for you to miss that immigration appointment. This is just sheer ignorance. I am sorry. I understand things happen. Maybe the car broke down. Then there's Uber. Maybe you had a headache today. You better take some Excedrin. Maybe you couldn't get off work. That job I would have been quitting. But I'm sorry. That is no excuse. You missed the appointment. I'm sorry.
She says they told her she was being deported and to have her husband come get their daughter. I told them, "Don't take away my daughter," Heidi says. They never said if I could take her or not with me. Heidi had to hand over her daughter to a member of the legal team to then give to her husband, her lawyer told me.
What they told her was that she needed to call her husband and that she needed to ask him to come and pick up the baby. There was not an option of, "Oh, I want to take my baby, can I take her?"
2 days later, Heidi was deported on a U.S. government flight to Cuba without her daughter, who she was breastfeeding and suffers from convulsions.
Okay, now you see, hate cost this lady too much. Way too much. She had a daughter that was sick. She should have been living in love, not in hate. I am sorry. I did a video yesterday, y'all, on this lady here. Or these two ladies. Let me see if I can get this over here. Yeah, I hope you can see this. These two ladies here over here and here. And then there's a guy. The man is a cop. He's a black man. The ladies are immigrants and they're protesting. I don't know if they're crying. I don't know if they're being dragged or getting ready to get deported or get ready to be detained or whatever. But whatever the reason, they looked at this black guy and called him the N-word. N-word, I'll spit at you, N-word, N-mother, N-family members, N-children, N. So what did this man do? He's just there doing his job. And I understand you don't like him because he's deporting people, but you could have staved all that off in the polls, in the voting booth, or with your attitude. So listen, I'm a nice person. I don't like to see things happen to people. I don't want to see anybody separated from their children. I don't want to see any of that. But you have to remember, live by the sword, die by the sword. If you live by hate, which is definitely what these two ladies have been doing, then you die by hate. Maybe you're sitting in a detention center and your 1 or 2 year old kids are somewhere with their family or dad or with social services or something like that. If that's what you like, then fine. Then keep living in hate if that's what you like. But that's not what I choose to do. I choose to live in love. But at the same time, I'm not stupid. If people don't like me, I don't like them. So that's just the way it is. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate it. It takes me a lot of time to get all this information, even though I enjoy doing it. And I would just appreciate it. And one more thing, at the end of my videos, I usually have a picture up, a picture that I painted myself. And if you guys would like to purchase it, just let me know. Hit me up in the comments, and we can talk about it. And here is one of my beautiful, beautiful paintings. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.